One of the best tools for Drupal building is actually a Drupal module known as Devel. The Devel module is actually a suite of modules or tools for developers and theme builders. The tool within this suite we plan to use for theme building is known as the Theme Developer module, which helps themers target any element on a Drupal page. In this video, I will introduce the Devel module suite and the Theme Developer module, which will be used at certain points throughout this course. So since the Devel module suite is something that doesn't come with Drupal, we need to go download it from the Drupal website, drupal.org. So I've visited the Devel page in another tab. The URL is drupal.org/project/Devel. Again, this is a suite of modules, so you only have one download, and the downloads are at the bottom of the project page. You'll want to download the recommended version for your Drupal installation. So since I'm running Drupal 6, I will be downloading and using only the Drupal 6 version of the Devel module. So go ahead and download this module and unzip the file so we can actually install this suite into our Drupal site. So I've downloaded the Devel module and actually saved it on my desktop. This Devel folder needs to go into my Drupal sites all modules folder. This is where I install new modules for Drupal. So I'm going to open my Drupal folder, and as we see, this is a standard Drupal 6 site. So there's a sites folder, we go in there, and then we'll actually visit the all folder, and we see that there is nothing in here for us to place our new contributed module in. So we will create a new folder called modules, and inside there, we will actually just drop in the Devel module. Remember, you will only want to install new modules within the sites all modules folder, not within Drupal 6 itself. So now that this module folder has been added, we can go back to our Drupal site, visit the modules administration page. So we're going to click modules from administer. We're going to scroll down and we're going to look for the development modules. Remember, the Devel module is actually a suite of modules. That's why you'll see these 5 modules listed after putting in the Devel folder. We are only going to use the Theme Developer module, but it does require that the standard Devel module is enabled. So once those are both checked, we can click OK, and we'll save the configuration, which has now enabled our development modules. We see a success screen and a new little floating themer info window appearing in the bottom left corner. We're going to come back to this in a second. So right now, I would actually want to visit the home page of our site built as it is now before I enable the themer info window. The reason why is once this is enabled, I can no longer click around the site and browse. The themer info window is actually going to override every click that we do on a page and provide us some contextual info. Let's see that now. So we click to enable the themer info window, and we see now that there is this floating panel that can be moved anywhere on the screen. And if we move our mouse away from that floating panel, we see now that we start to get some live contextual highlighting of basically any element our mouse is over. These red contextual highlighted boxes are provided by the Theme Developer module. This is very similar to a plugin for Firefox that web developers use, known as Firebug. So we can actually now click any element, even a link, and get some updated information. So let's click the body. Let's try the whole flower. Let's try just the links. And we see that all that information in the pop-up gets changed. So what we want to do is actually choose an element to target, and this panel is going to let us know what we're going to be targeting within our theme files. So we can see that there are some functions called, some elements that are involved with data. We won't dive too deeply into this panel for this video since we will be using this plugin throughout the entire process of building our theme. So since the Theme Developer module actually obstructs us from browsing our own Drupal site since it's on, we need to make sure we disable it when we're not using it. So we actually will go down to the bottom left corner where it says Themer Info and make sure that the checkbox is unchecked. And we see now that we no longer get the contextual red highlighting, and we no longer have the floating dialog panel. Even though we have disabled the theme developer panel, we have not actually disabled the entire module. Tools like the Devel module and its themer development module should never be left enabled on any public-facing website, because these modules use a lot of computer memory, or RAM, and can result in negative performances. So let's go back to the modules administration screen that's under Administer, Modules, and let's disable the theme developer module. And we cannot disable the parent Devel module until theme developer has been fully disabled. So we'll click Save Configuration with theme developer unchecked. We'll go back down and make sure that Devel itself is also now unchecked, since we can disable that. After clicking Save Configuration, we just double check that those modules are disabled, and they are. We can now continue building our Drupal website. Tools like the Devel module are great for development, but should never be left enabled on any public-facing site, since modules like these use up a lot of RAM or computer memory and can result in negative performances of your website.